Imagine logging onto your favorite chat app, scrolling through profiles, laughing at memes, exchanging messages with people who seem friendly, caring, harmless. You think you're safe, connected, part of a vibrant online community. But what if I told you that lurking behind some of those profiles are predators, individuals whose sole purpose is to manipulate, exploit, and sometimes destroy lives, all from the comfort of their own room? Cybercrime is no longer a distant concept. In 2025, the digital world is where predators operate with chilling sophistication. They don't need to break into your house. They infiltrate your trust, your curiosity, your sense of connection. And they are trained in human psychology, the way your brain responds to compliments, attention, fear, or loneliness. Online predators are often meticulous. They study their targets, identifying vulnerabilities, teenagers seeking friendship, young adults craving validation, even professionals looking for networking opportunities. They exploit these weaknesses through carefully crafted messages, slowly building rapport, and lowering your guard. By the time you realize something is wrong, they've already embedded themselves in your digital life. One method commonly used is called grooming, a process where predators gradually desensitize their victims to manipulative behavior. It may start with innocent compliments, shared jokes, empathy. But over time, it escalates into control, coercion, and exploitation. The psychology behind it is deliberate. The predator makes the victim believe they are the only one who understands them, creating dependency and trust. The anonymity of the internet gives these individuals an almost limitless playground. They can hide behind fake names, stolen images, and clever lies. Social media platforms, chat rooms, gaming communities, and even dating apps become hunting grounds. And because the digital footprint is so complex, tracing a predator's actions becomes a challenge for law enforcement. Take the case of a 17-year-old girl in London who met someone online posing as a fellow student. Over weeks, he gained her trust with heartfelt messages and photos that seemed personal and genuine. He promised friendship, later emotional support, then manipulated her into sharing personal information and images. By the time her family realized the danger, he had disappeared into the web, leaving only digital traces and emotional scars. Psychologists explain that predators exploit cognitive biases, the natural tendencies of human thinking that make us trust, empathize, or respond to authority. For instance, the reciprocity bias. When someone shows us kindness, we feel obliged to reciprocate. Predators use this principle to encourage sharing, compliance, or risky behavior. Fear is another weapon. Some cybercriminals threaten exposure, shame, or ridicule if their demands are not met. Others manipulate emotion with fake emergencies, invoking guilt or panic. The emotional rollercoaster keeps victims constantly engaged, confused, and often isolated from real-world support. In the UK, law enforcement has observed an alarming increase in online predator cases. Teenagers report that messages that begin as friendly banter often escalate into coercion or blackmail. Adults fall victim to scams where trust is weaponized. Businesses face cyber espionage, where psychological manipulation targets employees for confidential information. The digital age has brought convenience, but with it comes a hidden ecosystem of danger. Understanding the psychology of cybercrime is essential. Victims often blame themselves, thinking I should have seen it coming, but experts emphasize that the predators are trained, calculated, and experienced in exploiting human behavior. Parents, educators, and individuals must recognize the signs: unusual secrecy online, sudden withdrawal from real-life connections, fear of sharing digital activity, or hesitancy in responding to certain messages. Awareness and proactive education are the first steps in prevention. But knowledge alone is not enough. Cybersecurity, verified digital platforms, and psychological resilience play critical roles in keeping one safe. Victims should know they are not alone, and reaching out to authorities, counselors, or trusted adults is never a weakness. The reality is stark: the digital world is a realm of opportunity and peril. Every click, message, and friend request carries potential risk. The predators are real, and they are watching. This isn't just a story of crime, it's a lesson in vigilance, psychology, and the unseen threats that define the internet today. By understanding how cybercriminals operate, how they manipulate psychology, and how they exploit trust, we take the first step in reclaiming our online safety. The next time you log in, pause, think, and question. Who is really on the other side of the screen? The digital world hides a chilling truth. Predators are not random strangers, they are highly calculated individuals who understand how the human mind works. In Part 1, we explored the general psychology behind cybercrime. Now, let's dive deeper into the real-life cases, tactics, and behavioral patterns that make online predators so dangerous. In 2024, a UK-based investigation uncovered a sophisticated online grooming ring targeting teenagers across multiple cities. The predators weren't faceless. They were everyday people, young adults, professionals, individuals blending seamlessly into society. What set them apart was their knowledge of human vulnerability. They understood how to exploit emotions, trust, and the innate desire for connection. One particular case involved a 16-year-old boy from Manchester. He was active in online gaming communities, making friends, sharing gaming strategies, and streaming his gameplay. A predator joined his community, mirroring his interests, praising his skills, and slowly initiating private conversations. Over weeks, subtle manipulation led the boy to share personal details, location, school, even family routines. The predator had no visible motive, no immediate demand for money or gifts, but created a psychological dependency, making the victim feel understood and valued. Psychologists call this emotional grooming, a calculated process where the predator becomes an indispensable part of the victim's mental world. Unlike traditional crime, there is no forced entry, no visible weapon. The predator's tool is psychology itself: attention, flattery, empathy, and slow manipulation of boundaries. Another alarming case unfolded in London. A group of cybercriminals created a fake influencer persona on social media. Teenagers flocked to follow her glamorous lifestyle, unaware that she was a construct controlled by an individual with malicious intent. Through direct messages, she extracted private photos, threatened exposure if the victims refused to comply, and leveraged their fears to maintain control. This case demonstrates how digital anonymity multiplies power. Predators can operate with impunity, hiding behind fabricated identities and sophisticated online personas. The psychological strategies used are disturbingly systematic. Reciprocity manipulation: predators offer praise, gifts, or attention, triggering the victim's need to reciprocate. Isolation techniques: they subtly discourage sharing experiences with friends or family, creating secrecy. Fear induction: threats of shame, exposure, or social rejection create a constant state of anxiety. Normalization: gradually pushing boundaries, making previously unacceptable behavior seem normal. These tactics are not limited to teenagers. Adults, too, are targeted in cyber scams, romance frauds, and blackmail attempts. For instance, professionals seeking networking opportunities on LinkedIn have been lured by fake recruiters who request personal information or credentials. The emotional manipulation is the same: trust, empathy, and reciprocity exploited in calculated steps. UK law enforcement has been studying these patterns closely. Their reports emphasize that online predators are patient and strategic. They often operate in clusters or networks, sharing techniques, fake accounts, and psychological insights to optimize their manipulation. The sophistication is startling. The digital predator is both technician and psychologist. Consider the following scenario. A young woman receives an initial message from a stranger claiming to be a university student. Over weeks, he shares personal struggles, encouraging her to empathize. Slowly, he requests minor favors, such as sharing photos or sensitive personal information. What starts as innocent conversation escalates. The predator now holds emotional leverage over the victim. By the time law enforcement is alerted, the predator may have dozens of victims, all subtly manipulated. Psychologists note that victims rarely notice the manipulation at first. Human brains are wired for trust, social bonding, and empathy, traits that predators exploit. The cognitive trap is that victims feel the relationship is reciprocal and voluntary. Meanwhile, the predator's motives are hidden, and the damage accumulates silently. education and awareness remain the most effective prevention. Parents, educators, and teenagers must understand the mechanics of online manipulation. Verify identities online. Avoid sharing sensitive personal information. Question unusual attention or flattery. Recognize emotional manipulation cues. Cybersecurity measures are crucial, but they are only part of the solution. Awareness of psychological tactics ensures that digital vigilance extends beyond technology into understanding human behavior. The online predator is not just a stranger behind a screen. They are an expert in observing, analyzing, and exploiting human vulnerabilities. They are patient, strategic, and adaptive. Every click, every reply, every moment spent online carries potential risk. By examining real cases and understanding the psychological triggers, we gain more than awareness, we gain tools to resist manipulation, protect ourselves, and educate others. The online world is not inherently unsafe, but the predators are real, and understanding them is the first line of defense. As Part 2 concludes, remember, knowledge is power. Awareness, vigilance, and careful observation transform the online environment from a landscape of fear to a domain of informed safety. Stay cautious, stay informed, and never underestimate the dark side of the digital world. By now, we've explored the chilling reality of cybercrime and the psychological tactics predators use to exploit victims. Part 1 introduced the psychological manipulation. Part 2 exposed real-life UK cases of grooming and emotional exploitation. Now, Part 3 focuses on prevention, awareness, and strategies to stay safe online, because knowledge alone is power only when applied. The first line of defense against online predators is awareness. Understanding the methods predators use: emotional manipulation, grooming, fear induction, and cognitive exploitation allows individuals to recognize warning signs before harm occurs. Awareness is especially critical for teenagers, who are among the most vulnerable online. Experts emphasize the importance of digital literacy. Teenagers, young adults, and even professionals must learn to question online interactions critically. Who is behind the profile? Is this message trying to manipulate emotions or create dependency? Could this request for personal information lead to exploitation? UK authorities have launched awareness campaigns highlighting the dangers of online grooming and cybercrime. Programs in schools educate students about safe online practices, the risks of sharing personal content, and the psychological tactics predators use. Parents are encouraged to engage in open conversations, monitor online activity discreetly, and foster trust so children feel comfortable reporting suspicious behavior. Cybersecurity tools are also crucial. While predators manipulate psychology, technical safeguards create additional layers of protection. Strong, unique passwords for all accounts. Two-factor authentication, 2FA. Verified social media and communication platforms. Monitoring software for minor accounts, where appropriate. However, the most effective defense remains human vigilance. Predators rely on human tendencies, trust, empathy, desire for connection, so building psychological resilience is vital. Experts recommend developing habits such as pausing before responding to unknown contacts, questioning sudden or intense attention, maintaining real-world connections and support networks. One inspiring example involves a 15-year-old girl in Birmingham who noticed subtle red flags in a new online friend's messages. Instead of ignoring her instincts, she reached out to a school counselor. The predator's grooming attempt was identified early, and the situation was diffused without harm. This case illustrates that intuition, awareness, and timely action can prevent online exploitation. Experts also suggest adopting a trust but verify approach. While online interactions can be safe and positive, verification, confirming identities, limiting personal disclosures, and using secure platforms ensures boundaries remain intact. Education campaigns increasingly emphasize that digital friendship is not inherently unsafe, but vigilance is non-negotiable. Law enforcement agencies in the UK continue to investigate cybercrime networks, employing advanced technology and forensic psychology. They analyze communication patterns, online behavior, and predator networks to dismantle operations before they escalate. Victims are provided with counseling and support, recognizing the emotional and psychological impact of cyber exploitation. Cybercrime prevention is not limited to teenagers. Adults face sophisticated scams, including romance frauds, phishing, and identity theft. The psychological techniques are the same, exploiting trust, fear, and emotional response, but applied to professional or personal vulnerabilities. Awareness campaigns now target employees, social media users, and vulnerable communities with actionable guidance. Digital literacy extends beyond awareness of threats. It includes understanding the tactics of manipulation. Predators exploit psychological triggers such as reciprocity bias, feeling obliged to return favors or attention; authority bias, trusting someone appearing knowledgeable or official; fear of missing out, FOMO, urgency or scarcity manipulation; social proof, believing someone is trustworthy because others interact with them. Applying this knowledge transforms potential victims into informed digital citizens. Awareness, combined with vigilance, breaks the cycle of manipulation. Communities, educators, and families become active participants in safeguarding online spaces. In conclusion, the digital world is a landscape of opportunity and peril. Online predators are real, sophisticated, and psychologically adept. But the human response, awareness, vigilance, digital literacy, and support networks remains the strongest defense. By understanding the tactics used, observing red flags, and applying preventive strategies, individuals can navigate the internet safely in 2025 and beyond. This series is more than a warning, it's a guide. The predator is out there, but informed minds, educated communities, and proactive measures form the barrier between exploitation and safety. Every click, message, and interaction is an opportunity to exercise caution, apply knowledge, and stay one step ahead of the unseen threats lurking behind screens. Remember, safety is not about fear, it's about awareness, preparation, and informed action. The digital world can remain a space of connection, learning, and opportunity, provided we respect the power predators wield and respond with vigilance.